Hi everyone. Today we're going to talk about the difference between citizenship and lawful permanent residency. Before we dive into that, I want to define some terms and let's make sure we all know what we're talking about. Citizenship is a person who was either born in the United States or that they have naturalized, which means that they or possibly their parents, if they're a child under 18, have become a U.S. citizen through naturalization. They took an oath of allegiance to the United States. So that's a U.S. citizen. On the other hand, a lawful permanent resident is someone who is allowed to remain in the United States indefinitely. Permanent residency. And the common term that everyone uses for this is a green card. So a lawful permanent resident is someone who has a green card. They're able to live and work in the United States long term. But being a green card holder, a lawful permanent resident, is definitely not the same thing as being a U.S. citizen. Let's talk about the differences. Number one, only a U.S. citizen can vote. And only a U.S. citizen can run for federal office. They can be in federal office only if they are a U.S. citizen. If you just are a lawful permanent residency, you are not permitted to vote in the United States and you're not permitted to run for federal office. But there's more than that to this story. You do not have all the rights of a U.S. citizen if you hold a green card in your hand. So for example, if you have a green card and unfortunately you have committed some crime or there's been a problem with your immigration application in the past, you could lose your permanent residency. That could be taken away from you. In addition, a green card, the little card that you receive from immigration, it's called the I-551. It needs to be renewed every 10 years. If you're a U.S. citizen, you don't have to go renew your citizenship every 10 years. You just are a citizen. With a U.S. citizenship, you also get to carry a U.S. passport. If you only have a green card, the lawful permanent resident, you are not allowed to have the U.S. passport. And the final difference that I want you to know is eligibility for benefits. If you are a U.S. citizen, you're eligible for all federal, state, and local benefits that are given to all U.S. citizens, under the law. And if you are a permanent resident, you may have to wait a specific period of time before you are eligible for benefits. In addition, for several of my clients, if they are not a U.S. citizen, they are not allowed to get a high enough security clearance in their job, so they might be limited on their job options. So as you can see, there are several big differences between these two things. Being a U.S. citizen, in my opinion, is always a much safer bet, but I talk with each client to make sure that that is the right choice for them. There are reasons why some people